Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're not seeing it there. Also, I am giving in-person, I should say, readings in Herkimer, New York. Shoot me an email if you're near there and you want more details. The information for the decks and dice, all that stuff is going to be below. And if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. James4astral@gmail.com, James4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? Why? It feels like we jumped right into this, which is interesting. That's it. Okay. Question of loyalty. Who is loyal to who here? Are you stuck in the middle of something? Are you stuck in the middle of something? Now, there's these opposing energies I get from this situation. And I feel like you understand them. You might even get along with them separately, but they don't get along with each other. Take that with a grain of salt, obviously. At the very least, these two people get along with you better than they get along with each other. Better with you. There's some type of like, it just reminds me of having friends, and then certain people have issues with each other. I get along with each of them, but they don't. It's just, you can't have. It's hard to have them all in the same room at the same time. And I get the devil energy with the lover. Not the lovers. That's the romance card. You might understand somebody who's kind of difficult, or other people might find difficult. You might be like, yeah, well, I know that, as long as you do it this way, you stay over here, and you let them do that way, I don't have a problem with them. But I can understand where sometimes they're maybe a little bit difficult to deal with for some people. This might be an energy you're very used to, kind of like for certain people they're difficult to deal with, but I know how to, where you can, where you can't. So I deal with them well. I'm fine. I'm not saying you do or don't like them. I'm not saying that. Especially if it's a work situation, you know how to work with it, is what I'm saying. And probably effectively do. I'm not saying you do or don't like them. So it depends on you. But whatever the situation is, I do feel like you keep positive motion. I feel like that's part of this. Keeping motion in a positive direction and keeping it going at a certain pace. Because I get this here for you. And there's like, I stay out of certain things because of it. I know how to deal with this. I know what pace this has to go at. I try to keep it moving. And there's certain things I just stay out of. I do have some Aquarius in my chart, which they're showing me an example. Like, when I get comfortable, I can get very creative with how I speak. And some people love it. Some people flat out hate it. And I'm aware of certain people in my life that, like, if I just let myself go and I just enjoy a conversation, I will trigger them. Not like I'm trying to, but just they get very annoyed with just the way I talk if I'm comfortable. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I'm saying anything rude, but like I think I tend to jump subjects a lot, and I think that gets very aggravating for some people. So I know when I'm talking to them, I keep it in a certain boat, and I make sure that they do more of the talking than I do. And I just, like, I'm very cognizant of that energy. And that might be what's going on here, too. It's not like you block the situation totally, but you do regulate it in a way that you're like, so this doesn't become a problem. This is how I'm going to do this. You also might make it look like you're more comfortable with a situation. I don't know if that's the right word. More compatible more happy with the situation than you actually are. You got this Seven of Swords with the glamour. Like, you don't let people know. You got like a poker hand going on here, sorta. And sorta. And the reason I say sorta is because you let people see what you want. How you actually feel, they don't know. What ideas you actually have, nope, they don't know that either. I don't think you want them to know. And it seems to be fine. I let people think what they want to think within reason. You know what I mean? Like, if they think, you know, I'm a good cook, and I'm like, it's certain things, yeah, I am. But, you know, I don't make them think I'm a world-class baker. I don't make them think that I can make a wedding cake. But if they think I can make a good pie, that works. I don't care. Doesn't mean I'm going to make them one, but they can think that. That type of thing. That type of thing. I'm just letting them think what they want to think, as long as it doesn't cause me damage. But there is calamity in this situation. I like the word calamity today, apparently. Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune's coming in like this, which just means it's not all good, it's not all bad. It's not all unpredictable, but it is all over the place. It's not all unpredictable, but it is all over the place. Okay, whatever that means. I feel like I'm constantly involved in this, and there's a lot of disruption, Certain people just... There's people who can't get along, and there are people who choose to not get along. You know, I feel like you all know what I mean when I say that. Like, there's certain people, no matter what they do, they just get on each other's nerves. It just happens. There's other people that are just looking for the reason. In case I need to say that in a better way, they're just looking for their reason. I don't know which version you're dealing with, but one of them's clearly worse than the other, in my opinion. As this keeps moving forward, I get that, like, I'm trying to ground this energy and it's not working. Even though you do well with working with these energies, getting them to work together is becoming more and more of a challenge, at least in this moment. It's just, they don't want to. People don't want to. I keep getting, they don't want to. I keep getting, I don't want to. And some people are just not willing to let certain things go and don't see the point in, like, and don't see the point in doing that. They don't see the point in doing so. I have a feeling for some of you, when you realize that that's the problem, that they don't see the point in getting along better, they don't see what that does for them, you might be able to open a door just based on that information. Like, oh, okay, yeah, let me look into that. Maybe that's the problem. They don't see a reason to do better. Maybe I should give them one. Okay. The moment coming forward that seems to be effective for you is like, we're starting it again. There's another uptick. Another uptick in issues. The Queen of Wands comes in. This is neither good nor bad in this situation. It's just saying there's an uptick in energy. Something's happening where we're having more issues than normal. And people are not getting along. So there's possibilities here. This is very interesting because it's very hot cold. You could step in there and sort it out. This doesn't seem to have a lasting or long-term solution because people are not finding a reason to do better. They're just not logging into it. I don't know what to say about this. They're just not engaging the opportunity. They're just not. Even though you can give them more than enough reasons, it's like you're talking and you could say the best things on the planet, but they're just like, their eyes are rolling in the back of their head. It's just not, they're not seeing it. It's just not hitting. Or worse, you're talking, it looks like they're listening, but they're really not. Or they're listening just in the moment, and as soon as you walk away, gone. They're not thinking about it. The option, a possibility, that may work better, may, because this one feels like it's a lot, but is to step back and just keep demanding results. So it's kind of like, all right, you 5 people, this has to be done by the end of the day, or there's going to be problems. I gotta go, and y'all know how to do your job, so I gotta go. And it's almost like forcing them to work it out themselves. I feel like you've done this before, where you've tried to solve it before. This to me sounds precarious to me, so I guess it depends what you're dealing with. I almost feel like I'm going to add a little caveat to that, which might be for the best. Y'all don't have to get along, but you can leave each other alone. Leave each other alone and get done what you're supposed to get done. I'm not going to be back till later. I don't know. I feel weird about this. Am I missing something? Because I feel like it depends what it is. It clearly does. Take it with a grain of salt. The truth comes out on that one. Something gets, like the moon card comes out like this, which the moon card isn't here, but it's on the dice. And then I got the 3 of Wands the same way. Things start changing when people have to take responsibility for their own actions a little bit more. And it's something about handing over that responsibility to the people as they're treating each other. Handing that responsibility over to them. Kind of like, I'm not going to regulate you. I'm over it. Regulate yourself. If this isn't going to work, maybe you need to work somewhere else. I have seen that happen before. I don't know. I feel like that's, if this is a work situation, I feel like that's dangerous. I feel like that, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt, think it out. Like, if you're a manager, I would talk to HR before you make any type of decision like that. I really would, because that could be a lawsuit. I'm just saying, because it's making me nervous. It's like, oh, I don't know about this. It depends on what it is. But if you somehow change the connection here, because like, I am seeing another way where this has worked out. If people won't get along, you just separate them, and then you just like, kind of like, you do that part of the job, you do that part of the job, you don't sit near each other. There's no reason for you two to talk to each other. Just do your part, and I'll be the middleman, and that's it. That might be another version of this, because I'm like, there has to be another way. If it has to be that way, segregate them completely out, and just kind of like, you're over there, you know, whoever walks towards the other's desk, if you're over to that person's desk, it's more than likely going to be your fault, so you're the one that's going to get the repercussions, vice versa. And then letting the team know, don't be calling people over, stay at your desk, and, you know, do what you're supposed to do. I feel like I'm stepping back and I'm not playing diplomat. I feel like that's the short answer. Maybe I'm taking a long time to get to that. I'm not playing diplomat, and I'm letting people know I'm not playing that anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be the person in the middle. I'm not going to work this out for you guys. You don't want to get along? I don't care. Just do what you're supposed to do and leave each other alone. It depends on what you're dealing with. Take that with a grain of salt, because it makes me really uncomfortable. You got to be careful with whatever's going on here. I don't understand why you stepping out is making this, like, I feel like I'm making people responsible for their own problems. And I feel like it changes things. Maybe you've been making this too easy for them? Or maybe too easy for them to entertain themselves as being a problem. Am I missing something here? This is interesting. Yeah, I get that, like, I'm pulling out of this. I'm pulling out of this situation. Whatever it is I've been regulating, it's clearly not making it any better. I feel like I've become a pawn in somebody else's game. Really? I would not expect that with Aquarius. I'm kind of shocked. But by pulling myself out of the game, and take it with a grain of salt, I'm a lot happier, and I'm just like, whatever your problem is, that's just that. That's your problem, y'all. Nope. I feel like I'm exiting the situation. It comes around again, and you're like, no. No. Just no. Just no. Just no. The advice here is just to move on from it. Let these people deal it out themselves. Kind of like, I'm just not going to be in the middle anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And things will reevaluate or re-add up like they need to. Your friendships may get stronger with the appropriate people. Other people might fall away. I do want to put that out there because I do feel that here. There might be a shifting about who I'm hanging out with and who I'm not. But I'm putting it in other people's control. I'm like, you guys need to decide for yourself. You guys need to regulate that for yourself. Overall, the energy gets better for you in the long run. I feel like I'm more happy with everything as it's going on by literally just kind of like, I'm not doing this anymore. You guys got to work out your own problems. Don't come to me with them. No, not doing it. Take it with a grain of salt, because I've seen this work out in a friend situation where that works well. I've also seen this work out in a business situation where it does not. So it makes me very, like, I feel like that's why it makes me nervous. Step back. If this reading is hitting, step back and really like evaluate. Does that make sense? Is there any legal component where I really can't do that? Like, is there? I'm just saying, take it with a mountain's worth of salt, like Mount Everest worth size of salt. Like, really, if this is hitting for you, because like it depends on what you're dealing with here. Because I'm getting step out, leave it to them, let them deal with their own thing, and let your life be happy. I don't need this problem. I don't want this problem. And I feel like that's what this whole reading is about. Like, I don't have to have this problem. I don't want this problem. I don't need this problem. Y'all can keep your own problem. And I'm just pulling myself right out of it. And once I do, I feel like what's done is done. That's that. I'm not coming back to it. Makes your life a lot happier. Makes your life a lot happier. I love this card. It's like that cake. I'm like, I want that cake so bad. I want that cake. Anything else? I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.